To you. Welcome to Calypso Conversation, the program, of course, where we talk Calypso every Tuesday and Thursday right here on your nation station. And this afternoon, of course, we're talking Calypso as usual. Our experts today, in fact, the topic for today is music, lyrics, and bands. And we have three experts we have with us. We have Norman Lita, who is a musician, all-rounder musician, composer, writer, and producer, Cornell Phillip, and Tim Durant, who is a Calypso writer. Well, we're here at Petit Miami, and we're told it is the ultimate event venue. This creative space can be transformed to host a variety of events, ranging from weddings to birthdays, staff parties, and major events. And we can say as well that Petit Miami is the home for Stardom Tent this Carnival season. That's where, of course, every Wednesday that Miami hosts Stardom Tent. But before we get into the actual conversation, before we get going for Calypso conversation today, we will take a short break just to acknowledge our sponsors. And I want to say a big thank you to CSK Concrete in Portsmouth, Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory, Lindomart, and Luxurious Loose. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso! Calypso!
Great things are happening at Lindomart. There it is. You can lean on the consistent opening of Lindomart. The bank is right there. Great things are coming. Keep listening to your radio, to Facebook, newspapers. If you think there was trusted service, it's getting even better. Convenience, all your products, the complete shopping list, everything you could possibly want, need, desire, request, or just hint. It's all right there. But wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Listen to a radio near you. Lindomart. We're growing bigger, stronger to serve you better.
Prosper, where you going busy so?
My brother, when you got to go, you got to go.
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso! Calypso!
Great things are happening at Lindomart. There it is. You can lean on the consistent opening of Lindomart. The bank is right there. Great things are coming. Keep listening to your radio, to Facebook, newspapers. If you think there was trusted service, it's getting even better. Convenience, all your products, the complete shopping list, everything you could possibly want, need, desire, request, or just hint. It's all right there. But wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Listen to a radio near you. Lindomart. We're growing bigger, stronger to serve you better.
Prosper, where you going busy so?
My brother, when you got to go, you got to go. That's a private moment.
Indeed, when a man gotta go in bleach alley, that's not something you can say not now. Ike say, here comes instant relief in luxurious loose. Dominica, it is environmentally friendly. Luxurious loose is your friend indeed. That's why all of your septic waste is being dumped at the Wasco's plant and treated.
Hello, we don't dump by the river or by the bay or do vajou.
You better take in front before in front take you. Luxurious Loos, we also rent portable toilets for every type of public and private event. Luxurious Loos, we will take care of your dumping of your sewage and will professionally dump and safely dispose of all your used, damaged or expired groceries and give it a quiet funeral. Luxurious Loos, we are the number one in the number two business.
Call us at 448-2410 or 276-4289 or 277-2410.
Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. Lafayette provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their locations. Cross Street, Roseau, Pickard, Portsmouth, Marigot or Grand Bay. Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.
Welcome back to Calypso Conversation here at Pitt Miami at Castle Comfort. And today we're discussing, as I said, music, lyrics, and bands. And we have with us three distinguished gentlemen. We have with us musician Norman Later, Calypso writer Tim Jura, and all-rounder musician, composer, writer, and producer Cornell Phillip. Gentlemen, welcome to Calypso Conversation.
Thank you.
It's good to have you guys. Let me begin by asking each of you how you got involved in the art form. For example, Tim, how you got involved in writing Calypso? Norman, how you got involved in terms of playing music, backing up the Calypsonians? And Cornell, how you got involved in terms of producing Calypso music? Tim, we can begin with you.
Okay, well, I want to say good day to viewers and listeners to this program. I also, Stephen, if you'll permit me, I want to take the opportunity to extend condolences to the family of the late Irving Chillingford, who I understand has passed away. In fact, his wife is my cousin, so I want to extend sincere condolences to them. He was a great sportsman and a great human being.
That's right, Tim. So we here at DBS also want to join in to also extend our deepest sympathies to the family and friends of Irving Chillingford. Of course, we know that he was known as the little master. The little master.
That's
Right.
Yes. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. How did I get involved in writing Calypso? It happened by chance, you know. I didn't make a decision that I was going to write Calypso. I was working at the Dominica Banana Marketing Corporation as the public grower relations manager. And it was my job to promote the banana industry. And so one day, an idea came to me to write a song to promote bananas.
Yeah.
And somehow I decided to go with the Calypso genre, you know. And when it was finished, well, the idea was to get some of the prominent Calypsonians to sing it. People like Hurricane Jean-Jacques, Hurricane Cleve, who was, I think, the reigning Calypso king at the time, or he was one of the prominent Calypsonians, Scrunter, and I think the Hunter. I had these three guys in mind to sing. There were three verses, you know, have them each sing one, do a sort of trio. But then, before I could get to that point, one of my colleagues, Blaise Jones, we know him, as the Arrow. He was working in the insurance industry, Windcrop, and he knew I had written the song and he had heard it. So he came to me and said, "Tim, would you like to give that song to somebody to sing in the clip?" Because the season was on, and he had been to the eliminations and heard one of the Calypsonians there who impressed him. He had a great voice, his song, material initially wasn't that good, but he scraped through to the quarterfinal. And Arrow came to me and said, "But I saw this guy, at the eliminations, and this guy has potential. Would you give him the song?" I said, "Well, no problem if you think he can do it." And that was the beginning of it.
And you
The
took him-
guy's name was
Hauserman?
Hauserman,
That's
you know.
right, Hauserman, yes.
Arrow brought him to me. We gave him the song. I listened to him, and I was satisfied that he had good vocal ability. And he did the song, and the rest is history.
I can recall that year when he sang that song about bananas, and had a big impact.
Right, and I have to say, even though he'll mention it, he was the producer, Cornell, behind that song, you know.
Right. So let's hear from Cornell as to how he got involved in producing Calypsos.
First, I will say all thanks to Super L.
Levi Loblack.
Yeah, Levi Loblack, the famous Levi Loblack. I can remember when I was still in school and we started playing music. Keith and I started playing music. That is pre-WCK days. The word was going around that these two guys were playing music and stuff like that. And then I don't know how it exactly happened, but I got myself in the studio being co-producer to Levi Loblack's, one of Levi Loblack's song. I think it was Good Citizen. And there are a couple others, but I think the first time I ever went in the studio to work on a Calypso was with Levi Loblack, Good Citizen. Word started to spread and stuff, and then I did for, I think, Ventura, We're Listening. And we started the studio off in Imperial Publishing. Eddie Angola and myself started off Imperial Publishing in 1995, and then that is when we really took the business of producing seriously, and then Calypsonians started coming to the studio, and we started to do our thing with the Calypso. So basically that's how I started off.
Okay. What about you, Norman?
Well, the thing is, I got involved in Calypso because of singing style.
Right.
I joined the band in '61, but they were already backing up Calypso. I think the first time they backed up Calypso was in '58. That was before the band was formed. Eddie Mate, Jim Garver, and Cecil Warner.
In 58.
58.
Was the band known as Swinging Stars then?
No, Joey was.
Oh, okay.
And then in '59 they formed Swinging Tins.
Right.
So these guys played, not Cecil, but Jim and Eddie played. And Eddie was by far the best musician in the band. And as the years went on, we developed, and because we were not good readers at all, we used to write music, just put notes on the line. Because I said we didn't have much training. Right. I'm a self-trained musician.
Wow.
So we jotted down our notes and we played it, and as time went on, we started reading our music proficiently, and that's how it is now. Guys just get a score and they go through.
Interesting. In terms of composing a Calypso, Tim and Norman and Cornell, how does one go about in composing a Calypso? In terms of producing a Calypso, do you write the music? Do you write the lyrics first, or do you do music first, or do you do both?
You want me to go first again?
Yes. Yes, Tim.
It depends, really. There is no set formula well, at least for me, I can't talk for all Calypsonians. All writers. But for me, it depends. Sometimes you get the idea for the song and the lyrics come to mind, they start to flow in your mind, and therefore you put them down as quickly as you can on paper. So in that sense, sometimes you may write the lyrics first, depending on how the flow comes. Other times you get a nice melody playing in your head like Shadow, and you decide, okay, I'm going to work on that melody first, and you finish it, at least some semblance of it, because with writing you kind of tweak it along the way. For me, I'm never satisfied with an original draft. I always have to tweak it until the last, and even then I still go back to Cornell and say, Cornell boy, I think we could have changed that, So, but that's what happens. Now the thing is, I mean, there's some writers who are not musicians, eh? Some they write their own music, so therefore they can't. Well, that is true. Not being a musician doesn't mean you can have the melody, because there's some guys who work out the melodies in their minds and so on. So essentially, for me, it depends. For others, I don't know. There are different ways of doing it.
What about you, Cornell, in terms of as a producer? Tell us your method of creating the music to accompany the calypso.
And, well, you asked earlier what basically initiates the composition.
Right.
What initiates the composition is a clean canvas. You know, as Tim said, all Calypsonians are different. I will answer the question by using, you know, real-time experiences. Hunter. Hunter would come with a hook. He wouldn't have lyrics. He would just come with a punchline, a punch melody, and say, Cornell, we have this song to work with. And he would come in the studio and he would start, and then we would start to work out something, and 5 minutes later I'll be playing it. When I think I have something, then the melody would change, and then we'd start to work, and then, you know, so that is how Hunter does his stuff. Basically, dice, I get something of a scratch from Pat, you know, Pat, who is Dice's writer. I get something of a scratch from Dice, and then we would come together and we'd listen to it and stuff like that, and then we'd probably call Pat and tell Pat, you know, this is that, okay, if you like this or if you like that. But I can assure you, what I get from Pat to the final product is totally different. It's a completely different composition. There are some writers who can do very well with having a full composition. The music would be composed and they can easily just write on it, you know. But there's no set way of doing it. One thing that I do when I'm producing a song is that even if it's me composing it, I'm producing it, I like the artist to be there with me, at least in the initial stages, because then it becomes part of him. It becomes something that he is comfortable with. I won't want to just get a voice note and just make the music and then give it to him and that's it. Something he may not be comfortable with, but because we have gone so far into the production that he can't really change it. You know, so I always like, in the initial stages, I always like the Calypsonian to be there with me when we start.
Close collaboration.
Right, right. Yeah. So what he likes, what he doesn't like, and that is what separates in terms of style. Right. Because if it's me producing everything, it will sound similar from Calypsonian to Calypsonian. But each Calypsonian, I have made it that each Calypsonian who works with me develop their own style, you know, and they song different, they each song different.
I want to ask Norman, how does the band now prepare for rehearsal for the Calypsonians?
Well, we have to get the music. Peter writes most of the music now. Music, chords, and the arrangement. You help the Calypsonian in most cases with the arrangement.
So you work along with the Calypsonian?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Well, yes, yes, if you say so. But a lot of the work is done by that individual. No is Peter doing it.
How many years has the Swinging Stars been backing up the Calypsonians?
From 59,
right,
up to the present day,
time,
with the exception of 1967, 1975, and 91, every year.
And what has the experience been for you, Norman?
Well, it's been a great experience. Let me tell you, Calypso has helped a lot of musicians in Dominica with the reading, because as in the government band, and I especially used to tell the young musicians, come to practice with us, to learn to read on site. And it has developed guys in the band, like one fella said in the band once, a string man, as far as it's concerned, he's the best reader of string music in the world. Obviously exaggeration, but he's played so much of that, that he just reads it straight off.
And I suppose, yes, Tim?
To point out that the year 1975, that no one is talking about when stars could not or were not available for whatever reason to accompany Calypsonians. The band that accompanied them was Naked Feet. You know that, right?
And of course, you were then a
Yeah,
member
well, I
of
was
Naked
part of the
Feet.
band at the time.
At the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, they helped us, you know. They helped us. Maybe I could just say, well, every year we played Calypso, we couldn't get more than $1,200. There was always a loss. And when we didn't play that, we said that's a waste of time. We didn't play. They gave Naked Feet a job. They paid Naked Feet $2,750.
We were good negotiators.
So we heard the next year our price went up.
So that was for good reason, no man.
Yeah, but I can say all the years we played, they just would not pay us. They got another band and they went right up. Anyway, that's life.
Connor, in terms of you as a producer, I suppose, it takes a lot of time and energy, in terms of perfecting a calypso,
Yes, it does. Yeah. It does. Some people tend to think that they can come in the studio. A lot of artists think they can come in the studio and within a matter of hours you have a good calypso, a good song, a good production. No. My method of approaching any song that I produce is that I would come in with the artist, we would have one session and we will do a basic, very basic structure of the song and then we just leave it alone. We'd make 24 hours pass and then we'd probably come back to it then or even more, and most of the time when we come back to it, we have a better idea of what it is that we're looking for, certain things pop up and stuff like that. So for me to do a song properly, I need, I wouldn't say how much time that I need.
At least a week or two?
A week or two, yes, but then it can take a lot longer. According to the artist and according to how things are flowing at the time, you can do it in a week, you can do it in 2 weeks, you can do it in 2 days. Right. I'll make an example with Bricks on Them. Bricks on Them was done in less than 24 hours. They came to me on the Friday and they said, hey, or was it I think it was the Friday. And then we came in on the Saturday for some, I think they had they had this rally, this big rally in the UWP had this political rally in Portsmouth and they wanted it for that day. And we just, and straight out of the studio, they just went down straight to Portsmouth, So things can happen and look at what turned out,
Right.
But in terms of the time frame, I just think you have to put time into it. You have to give yourself breathing space in which to really absorb the song, absorb what it is saying, When you finally hear the second verse and the third verse, you say, oh, okay, well, I can put this there to create the kind of mood that I want to create because of what the song is saying. Because most of the time, we get only the first verse and we don't really have the full gist of what the song is saying until we hear the second and the third verse. So, so it takes time. It takes time, and I won't advise anybody to do a song in a day.
Quickly, so Stephen, I keep interjecting, but I just wanted to say this because I've said it to Cornell before, and I think it's something that needs to be said. Sometimes we listen to Calypso, and it sounds good, and everything is good, and we simply identify the Calypsonian with the song. And so we say, boy, you observe something good, Boy, that's sounding good, boy, that's a great song. Many times, I think this is beginning to change, or many times we seldom think of the writer.
That's right.
I mean, hey, there's a good lyrics, but who wrote them? Did he write them himself? And importantly, we do not think about the producer. I told Cornell that some time ago. You listen to, for example, I was listening to one of Dice's songs, Tarzan, and I listened to this and I said, but that thing is well arranged. I mean, if you listen without the arrangement, the music is not going to have the same impact, And I said that to Cornell. I said, sometimes, man, we listen to a song and we say how great the Calypsonian is and how great maybe sometimes even the writer, but we fail to acknowledge the work that goes into producing that song and what really ultimately gives it the final sound with the kind of impact that it generates. So I just wanted to make that point.
Very interesting conversation, team, and Cornell and Norman. But we'll take a short break. We want to acknowledge our sponsors. We want to say big thank you to CSA Concrete in Portsmouth, Lafayette House Medical Laboratory, Lindomart and Luxurious Loose. We'll be right back with more on Calypso Conversation.
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso! Calypso!
Great things are happening at Lindomart. There it is. You can lean on the consistent opening of Lindomart. The bank is right there. Great things are coming. Keep listening to your radio, to Facebook, newspapers. If you think that was trusted service is getting even better. Convenience, all your products, the complete shopping list, everything you could possibly want, need, desire, request, or just hint. It's all right there. Wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Listen to a radio near you. Lindomart. We're growing bigger, stronger to serve you better.
Prosper, where you going busy so? Eh?
My brother, when you got to go, you got to go. That's a private moment.
Indeed, when a man gotta go in leisurely, that's not something you can say not now. Here comes instant relief in Luxurious Loose. Dominica, it is environmentally friendly. Luxurious Loose is your friend indeed. That's why all of your septic waste is being dumped at the Wasco's plant and treated.
Hello, we don't dump by the river or by the bay or do vajou.
You better take in front before in front take you. Luxurious Loose, we also rent portable toilets for every type of public and private event. Luxurious Loose, we will take care of your dumping of your sewage and will professionally dump and safely dispose of all your used, damaged or expired groceries and give it a quiet funeral. Luxurious Loose, we are the number one in the number two business.
Call us at 448-2410 or 276-4289 or 277-2410.
Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. Lafayette provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their locations. Cross Street, Roseau, Pickard, Portsmouth, Marigot or Grand Bay. Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.
Okay, welcome back to Calypso Conversation, and I'm joined by Tim Jura, Norman Lita, and Cornell Phillip. And we have been discussing music, lyrics, and bands in Calypso here in Dominica. Our venue for today is Petit Miami, a stress-free zone where friends and families can have a safe, unlimited fun, and where strangers can come together and have a great experience. It's all about good vibes only, so come on down, switch area codes for a while here in the 305, right here at Petit Miami. But before the break, we were discussing, the hard work that goes into writing and producing Calypso, gentlemen, and accompanying musicians as they perform live. But Cornell, do you believe, I want to ask you this question, I want to ask you, do you believe that other genres like soca and bouillon, that they influence Calypso music today?
We are Caribbean people, so there'll always be a fusion.
Fusion?
Yeah, there'll always be some, some overspill. But if I will elaborate, I will boldly, very boldly say, Bouillon saved Calypso in Dominica. I can remember it was around 1995 or 96 when we started to produce Calypsos with the Brotherly Brothers. There's this song that Hunter did, Caribbean Canal. And it's not something that was predetermined to say that we were going to put or make a different beat or put some Booyah influence in there, but it happened, you know. And Booyah, I think that was the starting point for Booyah having a great influence on Dominica's Calypso. When we first did it, there was this big controversy that this is not a Calypso and stuff like that. And even Calypsonians, you know, Calypsonians that I still work with today, they were totally against the fact that we were putting Booyah in the Calypso. Tim would remember these conversations. And I think, honestly, the reason why Calypso is still so vibrant in Dominica is because of the influence of Booyah.
Tim, what do you think?
I agree that Booyah has impacted Calypso, you know, and continues to impact Calypso. I mean, and nowadays, at the beginning, as Connell pointed out, when that happened, it created some controversy, right? And people were debating, you know, pro and con. But now I think it's become accepted. So unless somebody comes out and actually produces a Booyah or tries to pass off a Booyah song for a Calypso, you know, people accept the Booyah infusion, you know, into Calypso. Soca as well. I mean, I did to say that even Tasha's latest song has a soca, you know, touch to it. You know, what's the name of the song? High or something? Calypso High. It has a certain, you know, amount. That is my. If Connell doesn't agree, he's the musician. He can tell me. But I think there's a bit of soca infusion into that song. So yes, Booyah and soca have and will continue to. That is the nature of music.
Yeah.
Music is an evolving phenomenon, you know. So that if Calypso had remained as it was without that sort of evolution, I agree with Cornell. It would not have progressed as far as it has today. You know?
I wonder if Norman would agree with you guys.
No, I agree. And I'll tell you, right now, soca is very popular. Anywhere you go, you hear soca. So if you put a soca slang to the Calypso, it can only help it.
Yeah.
But,
Totally
I mean, different genres influence other genres. That's it.
Now, if I would say, add to that though, even if we talk about the influences, but we have to maintain, or we have to understand that Calypso still has that basic structure that you should always follow. You know, there should always be brass, obviously, you know, that's what Calypso is known for. You know, there should always be arrangement, verse, chorus, you know, and it all comes down to, even in the lyrics, it has to be about social commentary, either that or masking and stuff like that, you know. But Calypso has to, there are certain things that you do not mess around when it comes to Calypso. In the musical style, yes, but in terms of structure, in terms of topics and stuff like that, you have to make sure that you stick to a certain formula.
What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, but you still want to ensure that Calypso doesn't become Booyah and vice versa, you know, or Calypso doesn't become soca. There has to have some basic musical structure, as well as the important thing about Calypso is its propensity, its the ability, opportunity it provides for social commentary, you know, and that is what I think Calypso is generally, what generally represents, the ability for storytellers, by way of the Calypsonians, to tell the story of the people in interesting ways. So that would, for me, be the essence of Calypso going forward, you know, as long as Calypso exists. But even if there will be musical change as music itself develops, but you want to ensure that one particular genre of music doesn't take or doesn't morph into Calypso and it becomes Calypso. Calypso has its own uniqueness, musically as well as lyrically.
And I'm sure that, Norman, that you have heard the debate among Calypsonians and, you know, other people about Booyah and soca.
Yeah, but let me say something. Even Trinidad Calypso has changed, you know, slightly. Before, long ago, there was an enormous amount of syncopation. Our Calypso in Dominica is different. We more play a flattish thing on the beat, but to a Trinidad thing, it's always syncopated, or most of the time it will be syncopated. But they use less syncopation now.
But perhaps for our viewers, Norman, you can explain what syncopation
well,
is. Well,
on the offbeat now, pam, 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 you know?
Yeah.
Instead of playing on the beat, you do things on the offbeat.
What advice do you have for Calypsonians, you know, when they come to you, Norman, for at rehearsal, you know that you work with them, but what advice do you, for example, when they come to you for River Calypso, that the band will tell them, okay, well, do this or do that or rearrange or
But you have to do that in
Yeah.
several cases, you know. I mean, the guy who comes to sing 10 to 1, he doesn't know any music. He has a song, so you have to help him with the song. And in the arrangement, in most cases, the band practically arranges the song, you know, or somebody in the band. But you have to help them out. A guy comes to sing a song. If you find the keys low, you have to advise him that the key is too low. You should bring it up. And I'll tell you, some of them sing as high as possible. And I remember one Scrunter had a song. He was going up against Hurricane and somebody else. And when Scrunter practiced, I said, boy, Scrunter boy, you'll have problem with that. That is too high. Scrunter boy, no man boy, I know myself boy. I said, Scrunter, that is too high. That was in Windsor Park. When he came to sing the song, he bust.
Yeah.
He couldn't hit the notes, the high notes. He said it was somebody that up there. I remember that.
But that year was
I knew what happened. I was almost sure that was going to happen. He couldn't get it in practice. And you come in a Calypso final and want to do it. You can do that.
Yeah, that was an interesting year, man.
But Tim, I suppose you too, as a writer, you also work along with the Calypsonian in terms of the preparing, even for example, to the extent of the props on stage and in terms of the addiction and so on.
Yeah, I mean, I give ideas. I share my ideas with Calypsonians I work with. In some cases, I was more involved. Very early on when I wrote for people like Sandy and Tarina and so on, I was more involved in, say, the props, right, in terms of the presentation. People like Observer who knew what they were doing. I mean, I was involved, but he knew exactly what he wanted to do. So the Calypsonians who know what they want, and your input in terms of that aspect of their presentation is not that great. It's not really needed. Others, especially if they're new in the business and you're trying to nurture them, you have to work more closely with them. What I did earlier with people like observators to an extent. In the early days of my Calypso writing, I would work with the Calypsonians in terms of delivery, you know, in terms of even their vocals. I wouldn't teach them how to sing, but I would simply indicate, look, you need to work on that. You know, go get somebody who can help you to, you know, and to essentially coach them, right, on how to best present the material. Because having written it, you have a fairly good idea of how you think it should be delivered, you know. And so in that respect, you know, I would work with Calypsonians. You know, go to the studio with them, you know, Cornell would attest to that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and sort of guide them along as best as I could.
And that's where Cornell also would also offer advice and suggestions to perfecting that song.
That's what he means when he talks about, you know, the producer, the writer, and the Calypsonian singer working together. That happened a lot with him.
Right, Cornell?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, when it comes to Calypso, it doesn't stop after the song is, you know, after the song is recorded and released, you know, because the Calypsonian comes to you, comes to the producer. They come to me as the producer to create a winning song, because that is the ultimate goal, to win the crown, you know. So I would always listen to the Calypsonians that I produce, and then I would call, if I find something, if I listen to the song during the live performance, even if it's in the tent or at the competition, I would call them and I would point out certain things to them. I would even call Peter after every competition, after the eliminations, after the quarterfinals that just passed, on the Monday or the Sunday, I would have a conversation with Peter and tell him, hey, I found this and I found that, you know, and then we'd have a discussion, you know, and then if I have to call the Calypsonian in, sometimes before, I used to sometimes go into the band house, you know, to make sure that everything was up and, you know, but over the years, probably that's when I was a little bit troublesome. But then you have to respect each musician and the role, you know, so the band has its role. You know, I would say it on the phone, but right now I wouldn't come to the band house. But is an ongoing process. It just doesn't stop there. You know, like take for instance Joy. I produce Joy. It's the first time Joy is doing it. And obviously when it's your first time into a certain genre, you know, and it's competition, you want the best for the person. So you kind of work with them for them to get the tone, get the voice, get the key and stuff like that. But always at the end of the day, it's up to the Calypsonian.
You will find anybody this year?
No.
No. Okay. So you have taken a break?
Yes, I'm hoping I'll get some. Well, I have been busy doing other things the past couple of years, so I haven't really made calypso writing a priority. But I have not given up, you know. So one of these days I'll probably get a burst of inspiration, and Connell will hear my voice on the other end of the phone saying, "Connell boy." As a matter of fact, Connell has a song of mine in the studio, you know, which he started working on about me 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This one for Checker, right? Which you did, right? Which we have not finished.
Yeah, it's still there.
You know, it's still there, you know. The lyrics have been written, we just haven't worked on it. So, yeah, I haven't given up, no.
Gentlemen, very interesting conversation we're having, but we are nearing the end of our discussion, so I'm going to ask each of you for your closing comments. Norman?
Well, I hope we have a good Calypso season this year. I mean, several songs are very promising. Some are very good, I find. So I hope it's very good, and the competition is very good, and I hope the judging is also very good. You know?
Okay, Tim? Yeah.
Well, like Norman, I'm looking forward to a good Calypso season as well. I have to say that there's some pretty good sounds out. And it's also heartening to see new people coming in, young people coming into the fray, you know, on a regular basis. Now, Trilogy has impacted, you know, with his first song, Joy, for her first time. But Joy is a seasoned singer, and I didn't expect less from her, anything less. And I was able to identify the producer of a song from the time I heard it, you know. And so I am really hoping that they all can put their best foot forward and produce, you know, a tremendous show on the night. That will be difficult to judge, but nonetheless, that one that the judges will get right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
They normally get it right, then.
Well, yeah, true.
I mean, there's a method.
I didn't mean it that way. What I meant is, the competition is going to be. I am hoping that the competition is a tight one, that everybody performs extremely well, but nonetheless, it won't be too tight, too close for the judges not to be able to get it right. That's the point. I guess I'm making.
I mean, every year we say that. This year's Calypso is very good. Every year we keep saying that, but I don't know if it's become a cliche, but this year is of a very high standard also. You know, I don't know, something I want to say is my final words, but something I want to say to the Calypsonians. Over the years I noticed, I mean over the last, like I would probably say 10 years, you know, I noticed that the passion and the professionalism of the art form in terms of being a Calypsonian, you know, it has kind of taken a step back, you know, and I want to tell the Calypsonians to treat this as a business. There's money to be made out there. We keep talking about there's no money in Calypso, but with the advancements of technology, you know, you have social media and stuff like that, you have online streaming and stuff like that. I urge all Calypsonians to get their music registered and put their music out there, because if you put the music out there and you don't register the music, basically people are taking your music and they're putting it online and they get hundreds of thousands of views collectively, and that there is money being paid to these streams, and that money is not coming to the Calypsonians. So I'd like to tell all Calypsonians to register your music and put your music outside there professionally and start earning some income.
Well, I want to thank all of you gentlemen for coming here, you know, at Petit Miami, and for discussing this very important topic with us here today, music, lyrics, and bands. I want to say thanks as well to Petit Miami for hosting us here. Thanks to our guests, you know, thanks Tim, thank you for coming, Calypso writer, musician Norman Later, and composer, writer, and producer Cornel Phillip. Thank you for coming as well. And thanks to our cameramen and technicians, Dean Thomas and Aaron Wiltshire, and to our producers, Christina Joseph and Annadale Jacob. And a big thank you to our sponsors as well, CSK Concrete in Portsmouth, Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory, Lindomart, and Luxurious Loose. Continue again next week, Tuesday, for another edition of Calypso conversation. Until then, I am Stephen Dangleben, wishing you a very productive Tuesday, and we're looking forward to an enjoyable, peaceful, and glamorous Mass Alawi.
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso! Calypso!
Great things are happening at Lindo Mart. There it is. You can lean on the consistent opening of Lindo Mart. The bank is right there. Great things are coming. Keep listening to your radio, to Facebook, newspapers. If you think that was trusted service is getting even better. Convenience, all your products, the complete shopping list, everything you could possibly want, need, desire, request, or just hint. It's all right there. Wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Listen to a radio near you. Lindo Mart. We're growing bigger, stronger to serve you better.
Prosper, where you going busy so?
My brother, when you got to go, you got to go. That's a private moment.
Indeed, when a man gotta go in bleacherly, that's not something you can say not now. Here comes instant relief in luxurious loose. Dominica, it is environmentally friendly. Luxurious loose is your friend indeed. That's why all of your septic waste is being dumped at the Wasco's plant and treated.
Hello, we don't dump by the river or by the bay or do vajou.
You better take in front before in front take you. Luxurious Loos, we also rent portable toilets for every type of public and private event. Luxurious Loos, we will take care of your dumping of your sewage and will professionally dump and safely dispose of all your used, damaged or expired groceries and give it a quiet funeral. Luxurious Loos, we are the number one in the number two business.
Call us at 448-2410 or 276-4289 or 277-2410. Wow! I feel good.
Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. Lafayette provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their locations. Cross Street, Roseau, Pickard, Portsmouth, Marigot, or Grand Bay. Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.